Hello there! This is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Star Wars Ghost and Phantom 2. It is set number 75357, comes with 1,394 pieces, is rated ages 10 and up. Now this set retails in the United States for $159.99 and in Canada for $209.99. Now of course this set is based off of the brand new Ahsoka series, which just recently had its 4th episode. Been so awesome. Absolutely love the series, and this set is definitely a highlight of LEGO's summer wave, in my opinion. But without further ado, let's get into my full thoughts, starting with the box. So taking a look at the box, as you can see, it has some very nice detail on it, including Shin Hati's Starfighter, or at least what is supposed to be Shin Hati's Starfighter. We actually see in the show that there are other variants of the same Starfighter being used by other characters, but Shin Hati does use it, sort of battling the Ghost and Phantom in scenes here, which is pretty nice. You have our minifigures on the bottom, which we will get to, and then they appear to be overlooking the same planet that we've seen. I believe it's called Cetos. So very, very cool. I love the sort of aquamarine teal color to represent the Ahsoka show. Obviously, this isn't exclusive to LEGO. This is what they've done with Hasbro Black Series, for instance. But it's really cool that Disney is getting them to do this sort of uniform color scheme line to represent what each sort of set is based off of. Flipping the box around, you can see some of the other play features and your characters sort of ready to board the Ghost, which is pretty nice. You have the Phantom all in position there, which is pretty cool. And yeah. Now, before we get into set, we have the manual. Again, you can see it is a rendered image. The minifigures especially don't look very good on the rendered images. Of course, if you're new to collecting LEGO, in the past, the manuals were just the box art printed on the manuals, looked a lot better, a lot more premium quality. LEGO has since gone to these rendered images to save costs, and it just doesn't look good, doesn't affect the building experience at all, but still, I feel is notable. And before we get into the set and minifigures, we of course have the extra pieces here and the brick separator. So you're left with quite a large amount of extra pieces. I mean, this is a slightly larger set, but a lot of different studs and Technic pieces. Of course, you have an extra sort of missile to use, which is pretty nice that they give you the extras of those. So overall, pretty nice assortment of extra pieces. Taking a look at our first minifigure, and one of the exclusive ones so far in this set, we have Lieutenant Beta. And I gotta say, I actually really like this figure. Of course, this character has only been seen in the background of some scenes. I think only in episode 1 even. So it's not like a crucial character, but it's cool to get a random name character. I mean, I assume, assuming he doesn't end up playing a bigger role in the back half of the season, I'm guessing that this is just a character that LEGO got concept art of, and they decided to include in this set because they said interacts with Hera, though I don't even think we've heard this character speak any lines yet. But still, the minifigure, absolutely love. I really like the blue jumpsuit, you know, the pilot outfit that he has on. It looks really nice. And then, of course, the Mon Calamari head, which is a brand new print, a little bit lighter skin tone printed on, which is just pretty cool. Really nice minifigure. Our next figure included is Chopper, and there's definitely some good and bad about this Chopper. I personally didn't have any of the Rebels sets previously, unfortunately, so don't have the other one to compare to, but I have seen images, and I feel like I prefer the ones from the Rebel set. I think it just looked a little bit better. I still really like the double-sided printing on him, and he overall is a pretty cool variant of an astromech droid. Like, this is definitely unique, but I don't know, I feel like they put like it almost looks a little bit off with the colors just all mixed in here. Like, I feel like the legs and the sort of centerpiece should be closer to the same color, like not like still be off of gray but not white. So that's probably just a little bit of a nitpick, but still, I think this is an okay Chopper, but I've seen a lot of people say, oh, if you mix pieces of the old Chopper with the new Chopper, you get like the perfect one, and I definitely think that it probably is the case. Our next character is First Officer Hawkins, who has had a bit more of a prominent role, especially in the 4th episode. I mean, I guess if you want to call it a prominent role of him interacting with Hera, but overall still pretty nice again to get another named character rather than just a generic New Republic officer essentially. So pretty cool of that. I really like this guy's hairpiece. Really, really cool in my opinion. Just really nice like buzz cut and very simple sort of printing on his torso. Definitely reminds me of the Crix Medine figure from the Home 1 set way back when. I think that was in 2009, as I do have that set. And that's how they sort of have the New Republic officers looking in their uniforms. So definitely makes sense that they sort of evoke that. Moving on to our next minifigure, we have Jacen Syndulla. And overall, pretty good minifigure. Of course, one glaring mistake. He should have green hair. I mean, there was a lot of rumors, or not rumors, but like when this set leaked and that he had brown hair, everyone was like, oh, he must dye his hair brown for the show or something, or Lego or Disney decided not to have him have green hair. But obviously we now know that is not the case. Lego got it wrong. So it is going to be very interesting if we do see Lego re-release this set with him having green hair or not. Do I think it's super necessary? No, but they've done it in the past, so it's something that you might sort of expect in a way. I guess we'll have to see. Definitely won't happen in the near future, but I expect this Ghost set to perhaps be around for a while personally. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a set that lasts like the Razor Crest did, for instance, because that set went for about 3 years, going to retire at the end of this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if this Ghost set doesn't retire for 3 years just like that, because I assume the set is going to be very important, both in, presumably a second season of Ahsoka, perhaps, I mean, who knows if it'll be in Skeleton Crew or the Dave Filoni movie, or even The Mandalorian Season 4, because it wouldn't surprise me if they start sort of trying to consolidate everything, sort of like what the MCU did with, the Infinity Saga. But getting to this minifigure, as I went off on a bit of a ramble there, overall, I think he's pretty good. I think I would have preferred if they gave him the short legs that still had some movement, especially since I feel it would be a little bit better for play, and you could seat him in areas, because we do see him, of course, sitting in the cockpit areas of the Ghost. Of course, this is not minifigure scale whatsoever, but still would have been nice to place him in any of those areas, of course. Just because of his short legs, he kind of just stands instead of properly sits. But overall, he still has some very nice printing detail, as you can see, and it does have a double-sided face. And finally, moving on to probably the highlight of the set, a figure a lot of people are going to want, which is Hera Syndulla, or General Hera Syndulla. And overall, I think this is a great figure. Again, I didn't have the original Hera Syndulla, unfortunately, so don't have that able to compare, but still, I still think this is an absolutely really good job of translating a figure from live action into Lego. I think it really captures the look. Have the nice symbol of the Ghost and Phantom there. Of course, the double-sided face. The Leku also having some very nice printed detail, as you can see, which is just outstanding, and also printed goggles, which I think is really nice. Really nice attention to detail on this figure. So to start off, let's get into the Phantom, since it is the smaller build and is detachable. So very easy to detach. You really just pull it off, essentially. Don't have to like slide it or anything like that. It just is held in place on a stud and Technic beam. So very easy to pop off. Overall, though, you have some very nice detail on this Phantom. It's definitely a downstyle version of the previous versions we've seen, which makes sense as it looks more in scale to what it should be. But, the flip side of that is it is a lot smaller, and you can only fit one minifigure in. And, of course, you also can only fit Chopper's head on the side, which we will show off in a moment. But very easy to open up, but just with a nice sticker detail on the front and sides, really aids the set. Really like this sticker detail here. Would have preferred if it was a printed tile, of course, but I still really like the look. It looks really nice there. You can pop it open and fit any of the characters. Originally, when this set leaked, it just showed Jason inside, so we'll just use him, but you can technically fit any of the other characters. I was worried that you could only fit Jason inside, but that is not the case. You can see him sort of sitting in there, just like that. As you can see, there isn't really any control panel, unfortunately, with this thing, or this downscaled version of this set, which is a little bit disappointing. I wish they found something to represent the controls, but overall, he slides around in there, which is probably the one thing I wish he kind of was, they had a part in there that allowed him to sit in place. I guess I was wrong, sorry. There is a minor control panel there, just a typical LEGO Star Wars one, sort of hidden on the windshield there, as you can see. Just like that. Easy to pop back on, like so. Now the other feature, if you want to call it that, and this goes back to like early 2000s LEGO Star Wars, when they couldn't fit the astromechs inside of their ships, they would just pop the head off and then stick it on the top and pretend that, oh, this means the astromech is still in there, even though they don't have the body like they can in a lot of cases now. But this version is so downscaled that they can't do that, so you just have the head, which is still a pretty nice feature to have that like that, and definitely is accurate to what we see in the show in terms of him being, you know, sticking out there helping Hera and Jason, you know, fight off the Imperial's remnants, essentially. Now again, quickly showing how easy it is to pop on. You see the stud and the Technic beam. You really just pop it in there and don't even have to push it down that hard, and it will stay in place. You don't have to worry about it falling off or anything, and I definitely really love that aspect. Now moving on to the Ghost itself, I have to say I absolutely love this model. Now of course, I do not have the previous Rebels version of the Ghost, unfortunately. I've been looking at potentially getting it, but it's definitely on the more pricey side of things. You know, you look at how expensive that set has become. It's kind of ridiculous in the grand scheme of things, but still, overall, I think this is still a superior model. It just utilizes a bunch more colors that just really make the set stand out and just look outstanding. Now, of course, you have some pretty general, you know, sticker detail on the sides here, which definitely aids the set in looking even better. Definitely wish there was some more printed tiles like I was mentioning. Unfortunately, a lot of the designs you see here are all stickers, or not all, but basically all of them, as really the only printed element is this printed cockpit piece, as this here is a sticker as well, which is so very annoying. I definitely wish, at the very least, if this piece was printed, I think I'd be a little bit more happy, just because applying these is such a pain and getting it lined up, because if it is slightly off and farther down on one side, it just really looks terrible. Like, I had to peel this one off, and I really don't like peeling my stickers after I apply them, because then it just looks a lot worse. So that's definitely a downside, is the amount of stickers in this set. But really love the greebling and designs on this Ghost set. It just looks outstanding, and we will get into the full set in a moment. You have the docking ports here, which are quite small and obviously don't actually do anything, but they're nice designs and definitely accurate to what we see. You have the nice turrets that you can go up in about a, what is that, a 120 degree angle, I guess, maybe 150, and but are unable to spin it 360 like it should be able to, unfortunately. Just how they had to design it is how that turned out there. But that leads us to our first main play functionality, in that you can open up this sort of ball turret area, place your character to control the guns. There's no controls or any studs even to hold the character. In fact, he just sits in place as I shoot off one of the French loaded shooters, unfortunately, there. But as you can see, like, he's not going anywhere. Like, that is very stable. And like I said, like, if I move here, you can see, like, there's no studs in there whatsoever to hold him down. Let's move my camera. As you can see, like, very, very simple design, but it works so well, especially when you have the ball piece over top of him, and definitely looks really cool to have him in there. Now you can have figures with bigger heads inside of it, so if you have the old Zeb, for instance, I don't think there'd be an issue there, as you can see. Now, one of the only downsides to me is the fact that certain size characters' heads will prevent it from fully closing, so I'm not sure about Zeb from the classic set or not, if he would fit or not. There is enough space that you can seat them, which works okay, and you can still work with it just like that. So just something to keep in mind. But again, there is enough space for you to seat them if you have to. Just if they're a regular, humanoid head character, you can stand them up and it works just as well. Now moving on to the cockpit area, we can easily pop it off in one motion as it is held by these little clips here that attach on the inside, and you can fit in your character. Now a lot has been made about the use of the Inquisitor lightsaber to represent the steering wheel, which I as well think is just so awesome. In fact, I was sort of disappointed that we didn't get an extra hilt. I think it would have been really nice if you got an extra one of those. Included in the set as an extra piece. Unfortunately, that is not the case, or at least wasn't for my extra pieces. Just like that. And you can see her on the inside, and you can also pop this down to show her, and you can see the lightsaber piece a lot more clearer there, and overall works quite well. Now you can sort of move those pieces into her hands, but I find it's just a little bit more of a pain and just easier to just imagine that she's fully in control that way. But you can do your best to attach it to their hands if you so wish. Like I said, this piece here is a printed element, which looks outstanding. And you also have these turrets on the bottom here, which does turn 360 degrees. But it also has another aspect that you have to pay attention to. Now picking this set up, you can see you have a couple spring-loaded shooters, and this is the one that popped out earlier. Now what's really cool about this feature is you can actually make them shoot off by turning these cannons certain ways. As you can see, just like that. Works quite well, and it's definitely a feature I think will be very popular with kids, but it's also a great way for you to lose these turret pieces if you're not too careful. Now, like I said, you can also pop this canopy piece up and fit in another character, which we will put Lieutenant Beta since he's the one that we have. And he is ready to go and assist Hera in fighting against Shin, Balin, Morgan Elsbeth as they hunt for Thrawn, which is definitely pretty nice. Now, the other great feature of this set is the fact that you can pop these all off very easily, and you can also keep the Phantom attached too. You don't have to move the Phantom to take these parts off. As you can see here, it does have Lieutenant Hawkins still inside, and you can see sort of where he is stationed right there. Pretty ingenious part design, I think, because it works quite well and really is seamless in my opinion. And this allows us to access the interior of the set, which is definitely a lot more spacious than the previous version based on what I have seen. So definitely nice of LEGO to increase the size of the interior. You can see Lieutenant Beta there. You also have what appears to be a kitchen sink, which is pretty funny, in the corner there. And also a nice Easter egg of a Maelon fruit, which was a staple in Star Wars Rebels. Led to some antics of the characters. Probably made the show a little bit more kiddish than people liked, and that's probably why a lot of people took a while to come around to the show, just because of the antics of getting that in a couple of episodes. Probably dragged on a little bit too much at times. Now, like I said, a lot of space in the interior, but not a lot going on in the interior. You have these nice caution stickers, which definitely look pretty cool and allow you to sort of imagine them leading to the airlock, as you can see there. But the other main thing is you can pop down these bottom panels to represent sort of the landing gear being open. As you can see, sort of, we'll show off on this angle as well. Just like that, and you can sort of stuff a character inside. I'll grab a Jason, I guess, from the Phantom real quick. Just like that, and just to show, you can, you know, chuck him in just like that. And as you can see, he flew in on the other side, and it's not perfect, obviously. Like, you can't walk them in, it's too cramped in that aspect, but it's still a pretty nice addition that they have included there. And I should mention, it is on both sides, as you can see, as it does open up on the other side as well, just like that. So you can have them enter on either side. Of course, I believe in canon it is only one door for them to enter, but if you want to, you can pretend that basically that it can go either direction. Now you have some other nice details here on the front, which look really nice, I have to say. As you can see, definitely really cool part usage, especially here on these sides. I think really capture it quite well. To use these on the facing the other side, studs not on top, it just looks really sharp is the best way to put it. I just think it looks excellent overall. And again, it's a basic thing in the grand scheme of things, but I just think it really looks cool. Now overall, there isn't much else you can do. Like, these panels have some movement, but there's nothing underneath. It is all just structural areas of the set. There's nothing special hidden in there, unfortunately, which is probably the main downside. I definitely wish there was something in one of these panels that you could do, either storage for characters' weapons or whatnot, but unfortunately that is not the case. However, I just realized I didn't forget about this one feature of the Phantom, which is a nice storage container, which has some binoculars and weapons on the back there, which I just noticed while I was looking at it from this angle. So that's definitely nice, but definitely wish there was some more storage inside the main Ghost set. I mean, you could repurpose this melee run storage and put some weapons in that, but still, then where are you going to put the melee run, essentially, right? And lastly, just showing off the nice back engine detail. Definitely looks really cool as well. I love those translucent blue pieces. Just looks really nice. And of course, the landing gear, which is all stationary, but is still very nice addition, and definitely makes the set look really nice on display there. The LEGO Star Wars Ghost and Phantom 2 is, to me, one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets of the last few years. It is that good. I absolutely think this is a must-have for any LEGO Star Wars fan, especially if you're a fan of Star Wars Rebels or the Ahsoka show, which I just think has absolutely been really good and has definitely picked up, especially in the recent 4th episode. Super excited for the 5th episode that will be coming out very soon. And yeah, like, I think this set really has a lot of very awesome play functionality, play features. Minifigures are really good. Do I wish there was more, like, characters that we care about? Sure. But it doesn't seem like we're going to see Zeb in the Ahsoka series. Obviously, they have Ahsoka and Sabine in the other sets, so I'm really not sure what other characters they could have included. Maybe a couple of New Republic, you know, troopers, essentially, or New Republic security droids. Something along those lines might have been nice additions. But still, I think this is a good minifigure selection for what you're getting up on Christmas. But even then, I still think this set is worth it at its full price, which is not a set I say a lot of times about LEGO. With that being said, that's all my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the LEGO Star Wars Ghost and Phantom 2. Are you guys fans of this set or the Ahsoka series? Are you guys planning on picking this up, or have you already? Let me know in the comments down below. Please leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.